It is the best of times for whistleblowers, greater opportunities for financial reward and protection against retaliation, and the worst of times, thanks to chaos in federal government. Whistleblowers should be scared. In early 2018, I was asked to meet with the Criminal Division of the U.S. Department of Justice regarding a whistleblower complaint I had filed with certain federal agencies. On the one hand, I was heartened to learn that my complaint had been referred to DOJ for criminal prosecution. Far too often corporations involved in blatant criminal fraud are not criminally prosecuted. On the other hand, I was deeply concerned about the potential meeting because of recent news that a former DOJ lawyer had been selling information about corporate whistleblower complaints to the target corporations. Was it safe to meet with DOJ? Could the DOJ assure me that my identity would not be revealed to any outsiders? The consensus among my legal and media colleagues was that, due to chaos at DOJ, I should decline the invitation. In the past, whistleblowers primarily feared, with good reason, that the corporations they targeted, generally former employers, would retaliate, ruin their careers and leave them financially destitute. Fortunately, the financial rewards offered to whistleblowers today, prohibitions against retaliation and government assurances of confidentiality have lessened those fears. I can assure you, from personal experience, that it is possible to blow the whistle on corporate wrongdoing, receive a significant financial reward and not ruin your career. Possible is the operative word. Whistleblowers are still subject to many dangers and altogether new risks are popping up virtually daily in the Trump era. While President Trump campaigned on reversing the reforms set in place by the Obama administration, and briefly mentioned repealing the Dodd-Frank Act, no specifics were given prior to his election. Soon after Trump was elected, whistleblowers who had filed complaints years earlier under programs established pursuant to Dodd-Frank were terrified to hear these programs might be shut down. The laws they had relied upon in deciding whether to come forward and expose wrongdoing, putting their lives in jeopardy, might change. Their complaints might not be acted upon. In a February 8, 2017 letter to Trump, Senate Judiciary Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley, Iowa, swiftly called on the newly elected president to empower whistleblowers who bring attention to fraud, waste and misconduct in government. Whistleblowers took comfort in Grassley's appeal to Trump, but no one knew what the future would bring. Whistleblowers had good reason to be very, very worried. Fortunately, the Dodd-Frank whistleblower programs continue through today. Just when whistleblowers were feeling reassured, in June 2018, the SEC voted to propose amending the rules governing its whistleblower program to effectively cap the monetary award that a whistleblower could receive at $30 million, regardless of the size of the fraud or the money ultimately recovered by the government. Whistleblowers who had already been awarded, but not received, or had reason to believe they would be awarded, sums greater than $30 million were once again shocked to learn the rules might be changing. I know because I was one of them. Fortunately, the bad news for investors, good news for corporate fraudsters: proposed cap was not imposed retroactively. SEC Commission member Robert Jackson stated regarding the proposal, whistleblowers are, in the parlance of economics, risk-averse individuals, and we're asking them to put their livelihood on the line to help us enforce the law. Adding uncertainty to that process risks that would-be whistleblowers will stay quiet. Today the nation is focused upon an intelligence whistleblower who submitted a complaint to the intelligence community's Inspector General after growing alarmed by a call President Trump held with the Ukrainian president. The intelligence community Inspector General has found the whistleblower's complaint to be both credible and of urgent concern. As a result, it was supposed to be turned over to the House Intelligence Committee, but the acting Director of National Intelligence, Joseph McGuire, has declined to submit a complaint to the committee because he determined that it was not of urgent concern. The whistleblower reportedly wants to testify before the House Intelligence Committee. Let him or her be heard. When whistleblowers put their lives on the line to help enforce the law, they deserve to be treated fairly. If we want whistleblowers to come forward, the risk that the federal government will change, or ignore, the rules must be eliminated.